Hello, everyone. It's Audrey with Audrey's Variety Show, and today I am bringing you yet another installment in the Biblical Application Series. This time, the current event is Hope Giselle, the transgender gentleman. Um, so, and he was seen on Fox Soul as a part of the Battle of the Sexes argument debacle. But before I go any further, I'm just going to show you the clip and then I'll come back. Also, be advised that the clip is quite vulgar. They use a lot of this person uses a lot of vulgar language, so I just want to give you fair warning for that. I know a lot of us aren't trying to hear a bunch of foul mouth language, but it's in there.
That, which is something that I think is a fundamental issue within our community, is the fact that we are so willing and ready to walk away from each other than to figure this shit out. But what really burdens your grits and what really makes you upset, Dr. Umar, is that you sat there on that motherfucking live, that panel for an hour and a half with commercial breaks and all of that shit, and your little dick was jumping. And every time I opened my intelligent mouth, bitch, your little dick got a little harder. And you were just so motherfucking enthralled with this black queen that was spitting this motherfucking knowledge. And even if you didn't agree with everything that I was saying, bitch, you was down for it. Because when it comes down to the women that you claim that you like, bitch, on that panel, I was her. It's giving skin. It was giving fresh face. It was giving no cleavage. It was giving, I'm not giving it to everybody. It was giving African kente cloth. It was giving all of the things that, bitch, I set it up that way for a reason. I didn't go in and put on lashes or overdo my makeup. I barely brushed my motherfucking hair because I didn't want people to turn around and say, you can only fool us if you have all of that going on. You can only trick us if you have all of that going on. You can only be a woman if you have all of that going on. And it wasn't giving any of that. And you still sat there on the other end of that motherfucking screen, enthralled with my black, beautiful queen Agnes. And you did so on a public platform in front of everybody. And it's going to live forever. And you can never take it back. Because a whole bunch of motherfucking people have seen you call my trans ass a beautiful black queen on several occasions. And that's what you're really upset about. You could give less than a fuck about the fact that you were on a panel that you didn't know and that you didn't know. The only thing that you're pressed about is the fact that you couldn't censor yourself not to say how you truly felt about what you were sitting in front of. And that's why you're bothered. You're not bothered because of the fact that you only bother because now all them hoteps that followed you, when they want to get under your skin, now they gonna go back to that clip and be like, remember when you said this? Because the same man that has spent years of his platform talking about how you could clock one from a mile away and these men and these and if you don't understand the real essence of a woman and and I know as a man, I know when I'm in the presence of a black queen, all of you men out there that allow yourself to be tricked, it's because just you like that y'all are beta males. But you sat right in front of me. You sat right in front of me. And Umar did not clock Hope after the fact. People who wanted to know how I was getting him together and wanted to know who the fuck I was did their research and told Umar. I wasn't clocked. Let's be very clear about this. Not that it even matters. Let me take that off the table. Not that it even fucking matters. Not that it even fucking matters. But in this instance, what I am saying is that it's a problem because the same men that sit back and say shit like, oh, if you can't tell, if you I know a black woman when I see a black woman, none of these niggas can ever, trick me. I would never be gotten because these men, and I bet without that wig and that makeup and all this other stuff, all of the things that you can say, you can't say. say, I'm not wearing wigs. I don't have on a face full of makeup. I'm not distracting you with my titties. I'm not distracting you with my cleavage. All that was on that screen was my big ass shoulders, my big ass head, and my big ass face. That was all that was on the screen. And you still missed it. And you had conversation and you engaged. And I don't change my voice. The voice is the voice. And so you're sitting there and you're trying to figure out, how did this person deceive me? I didn't deceive you. I came and showed up as myself and you received it. I came and I showed up as myself and you received it as it was. A beautiful black woman sitting before you, because that's what it was.
Okay, so you heard that complete and utter deception and just outright foul mouth foolishness. And I want to say, that when I saw the video for that particular segment of on Fox Soul, I kept looking at this man, and I just kept looking like. At the time, I wasn't sure what I was looking at. Looking at this person, I just know that something was not right. Something was off, and the more I began to look, I kept looking. The thought crossed my mind that this might be a man, and sure enough, um, this man was presenting herself or himself as a woman. And I'm not understanding the deception um, about your choice, aside from self validation. And what I mean by that is like simple, like people that do this, it's like they're seeking some type of pass or prize for something in which they are covet, so they're emulating it. And this is this is dangerous because you're lying regardless. You're lying um, to people about who you really are. And this is dangerous because you don't know how someone's going to react once the truth is revealed, once you found out. Because you're not presenting yourself um, as who you are. You're presenting yourself as what you would like to be, not who you are. And, liking what you like doesn't mean that it's right. And in this case, according to the Bible, it is wrong. And that's what we do here on this channel. We talk about, from a biblical perspective, current events, and study the Bible. So let's see what the Bible has to say about this. Let's get some Bible, and I'm going to start with Deuteronomy 22 and verse 5. And then, there you're going to see, just going to be on this screen. You're seeing that how, you know, men and women should not wear each other's apparel for this very reason of misappropriating yourself, misrepresenting yourself as not what God intended. Now, some people get overzealous and might take this to an extreme. Women should not wear pants and all of that. But just in a general sense, whatever clothing you're wearing, you should still continue to be easily identifiable according to God's will and order. If you are a woman, whatever clothes you have on should you should be easily identifiable as a woman. And same for men. If you're wearing if you're wearing your clothes in a masculine way, it's an abomination to God. And the same way with men. If you're wearing uh, clothes that make you look feminine, it is an abomination to God. This is Bible. And you also can. There's also some more text with Romans 1, um, verses 24 through 27, and um, Corinthians 11, verses 13 through 15. And these particular verses are also talking about a similar thing with the wearing of our hair. And then in the Bible, you're going to see how, you know, long hair or whatever, the woman's hair is a glory to them according to God, and men's hair, coming back from starting from the New Testament, should be cut. In the Old Testament, it was not that way. Um, kind of, prime example is Samson, who had long locks of his hair, and it was cut and all that. So if you don't know the story, you know, I encourage you to read Judges and read the story of Samson. But to summarize all this, and not drag it out too long, because I think this is kind of common sense and point blank. We should be presenting ourselves as what God intended us to be, period. And when we are not doing so, it is in direct disobedience to God and His order, and what His intended purpose is for us. And if you are struggling with this and finding some justifiable reasons for this, know that it is a lie of the enemy. When God decided to create you, He had a purpose in mind specifically for you and your gender, whether you are male or female. There is a purpose for you in that that you have been born a woman or female, if you will, or a man or a male. He has an intended purpose in mind for you in the way in which you were born. And it is a deception, to to you to believe otherwise. And do not cheapen or lessen yourself into thinking that you are missing out on something, or that let me see here. and and the deception is also with that, just because you change yourself, or biologically, if you get a surgery, or you take a pill, or you change a costume, it really doesn't change nothing. It's a placebo effect. It's a sugar pill. It really does not change how God sees you. And if nothing else matters, the God's opinion of you should matter, because He does love and care for you and has a plan for you in that of your original gender, your true identity. And no amount of makeup or costume or pill will change that in God's eyes. So I encourage you to, repent, start reading the Bible, and start seeking and asking God for what is your intended purpose for me in my life. And why, and I know, I'm sure that a lot of people have this burning question of why I feel this way. Why do I want to identify so strongly as something on which I'm not? And I can't answer that for you, but I do pray for those who have that burning question, and that the God will reveal Himself to you and provide you with answers for that. But first and foremost, you know, your manhood or womanhood is is precious and important. But with that being said, be safe, be kind, be wise. Bye bye.